So good afternoon, everybody. I am pleased to present the paper Energy Management of a Grid-Connected PV Plant coupled with a battery energy storage device using a stochastic approach. This work has been conducted in collaboration with the Siena University in Italy. And so more specifically, it tackles the capacity firming. In fact, we are considering a system composed of a PV or a wind generation plant and an energy storage system. These systems are located generally in remote areas, such as, for instance, in French islands. And the goal is to maintain a committed level of power to the grid. And the difficulty lies in the fact that the power is intermittent as it is generated from a PV or wind plant. And one way of doing this is to install an energy storage system that will smooth the output and controls the ramp of the power. The French Energy Regulatory Commission defines the specification of the tender for the capacity firming, and you can find all the specification on the website. The optimal day-ahead bidding of a renewable generation power plant has been intensively studied in the literature, and the difficulty increases when considering energy storage and generation certainties. There are several methodologies to address this topic, and some people are using stochastic dynamic programming, some other people are using chance constraint, two-stage stochastic, or robust optimization. And here we will focus on two-stage stochastic. But we have been also working on a robust optimization formulation, but this is not the topic of today. So this paper deals with a two-stage stochastic approach. The study uses a two-layers approach, where a two-stage stochastic planner scenario-based approach computes the day-ahead engagement plant, and the deterministic controller computes the real-time set points. The formulation is a mixed integer quadratic problem with linear constraints to approximate a non-convex penalty function compatible with the scenario approach. A transparent and an easy reproducible Gaussian copula methodology is used to generate PV scenario based on the parametric PV USA model using a weather regional climate model. The two-stage stochastic planner is compared to its deterministic counterpart using perfect knowledge of the future and PV point forecast. The day-ahead engagement process consists in a forecaster that could be deterministic or stochastic with scenario that will feed the planner, a planner that can be stochastic or deterministic, and that computes the day-ahead engagement plan with respect to some specification defined by the French Energy Regulatory Commission, such as ramping constraint, minimum or maximum engagement, peak hour, etc. And the day-ahead engagement plan that is P superscript star that must be submitted to the grid before a deadline, and that is composed of a list of values that are export or withdrawal from the grid. The real-time process consists in a forecaster that is deterministic, that are inputs to the controller, the day-ahead engagement plan that are also inputs to the controller, and the controller that is deterministic, and that computes the real-time set points with respect to some specifications that are also defined by the French Energy Regulatory Commission, and too large deviation from the day-ahead engagement plan are penalized by a penalty function. Here you can see on these figures the penalty function, and the French Energy Regulatory Commission penalty function is non-convex and threshold quadratic. Indeed, overproduction are penalized with a total loss of revenue, and underproduction are quadratically penalized. Within the deadband, there is no penalty. The revenue is the energy exported to the grid times the selling price that is defined as the tendering stage. So on this study, the selling price is a parameter because it has already been set. And here on the figure, for instance, there is a deadband tolerance of 5% of the PV total installed capacity. The objective of the two-stage stochastic programming using a scenario approach is provided by equation 3. It is the expectancy over big omega scenario, with small omega being the scenario subscript. P is the net production at the grid coupling point. P star is the engagement at the grid coupling point. C is the penalty function. The selling price is a parameter. Delta T is the time periods in hour, and alpha is the weight of scenario omega. The engagement, P star, are the first stage variables, and the battery charge, discharge, state of charge, PV generation, and P are the second stage variable or dispatch variable. The objective of the deterministic counterpart is provided by equation 4, and in fact, it is equation 3 with only one scenario. And instead of using a PV scenario, it is using PV point forecast. Both formulations are mixed integer quadratic problems. The oracle, that is in fact the deterministic planner, assumes perfect knowledge of the PV generation and uses day-ahead engagement as input. Its objective is provided by equation 5. The real-time controller uses the last PV measured value, the PV point forecast, and the day-ahead engagement as input, and its objective is provided by equation 6. It computes each time period the set points until the end of the day. So real-time controller should use intraday PV point forecast updates to compute re-engagement, but unfortunately, these data are not available in this case study, so it is all using the day-ahead point forecast. The PV generation dataset is composed of 4 months, between August and December, of 1 minute resolution PV power monitor on the parking rooftops of the Liège University. The total PV installed capacity is 466.5 kilowatts. And here on this figure, you can see the max of PV generation per day of the dataset. The PV scenario are generated using the Gaussian cupola approach based on the PV USI point forecast model and Weather Regional Climate Model forecast of the Climate Laboratory of Liège University. Figure 5 shows a set of 5 PV scenarios, the PV point forecast from the PV USI model in red, and the measurement in black. The simulation parameters are the following. The planning and the controlling periods are set to 15 minutes. The peak hours are between 7 and 9 p.m. The selling price is set to 100 euros per megawatt and 300 during the peak hours. The dead bank engagement tolerance is 5% of the total installed capacity. This means that if in real time there is a deviation with this dead band, there will be no penalty. The engagement ramping constraint is set to 7.5% of the total capacity per quarter. And for the battery, it can be charged in 1 hour or discharged in 1 hour with a charging and discharging efficiency of 95%. And its initial state of charge is set to 0 kilowatt each day, and it is set also to 0 kilowatt at the end of the day. Table 1 provides a computation time. So we use a Cplex as solver to solve the mixed integer quadratic problem. And we implemented the formulation using the Pyomo Python library. With 50 scenarios, the mixed integer quadratic problem has an average of 50,000 variables and 55,000 constraints. The two-stage stochastic day-ahead engagement computation time is not an issue, even with 50 scenarios, as it takes on average 10 seconds and a maximum of 30 seconds to solve the problem. Here are the results. So the result consists of the combination of the planner and the controller. So for instance, you can use a stochastic planner and a deterministic controller, or a deterministic planner and a deterministic controller. And as the controller, we have the oracle that assumes perfect knowledge of the future, and the real-time controller that uses the day-ahead point forecast. So the combination of the stochastic planner, S, with 20 scenarios on the D planner achieved similar results, both with the oracle and the real-time controller. So this result can be a little bit deceiving, but there are some possible explanations. The Oracle controller could compensate and mitigate the planner result, smoothing the difference between the deterministic and the stochastic planner. The real-time controller uses day-ahead PV point forecast instead of intraday ones, smoothing also the difference. And thirdly, the PV scenarios are not really realistic because we have only 4 months of data. And as you know, the PV generation is an unstationary process. So we would need at least 1 year of data to properly generate the scenario. So the study with using the two-stage stochastic approach achieved similar results, that is deterministic counterpart. And so we will need at least 1 year of full data to produce a good PV scenario to take into account the seasonality. And we will need also intraday weather forecast to be able to compute re-engagements and run properly the real-time controller. And we have been also working on a robust formulation using a quantile PV generation forecast to compare the stochastic approach to the robust formulation. And we have also exchanging and discussing with an industrial, Bertin, that is managing some of the system on some French island. And it seems that robust formulations could provide better results than the stochastic approach. But the stochastic approach relies only on the way the PV scenario are generated. So that's why we think that it might be a good shot of trying to perform a better PV scenario to better test the stochastic approach. So thank you for your attention. And if you have any question, I would be happy to answer them.
So thank you, Jonathan. If there are any question, you can write it on the question and answer facility in Zoom, just below your window. I do have a question, Jonathan.
Yes.
So you mentioned you do not compute the renomination in real time because you don't have the intraday forecast.
Yes.
How do you think this would affect your study? I mean, what kind of result do you expect by taking it into account in your model?
In fact, the thing is, so we have 2 steps. The first step is to compute the engagement on a day-ahead basis, and then you announce your engagement to the grid. And then in intraday, you can compute re-engagements, in fact, 4 times during the day, each 6 hours. So you can modify your engagement based on intraday forecast. So for instance, if your day-ahead forecasts are not so good because for any reason, maybe you think that the day after will be a sunny day, but in fact, it is not the case. If you have an intraday forecast, you can maybe correct your engagement plan that has been set to the grid the day before. So it may have a deep impact on the results to use intraday forecast. So
okay, thank you.
Does it answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you.
So we have a look on the Zoom question. The Q&A, no, so no question right now.
Yeah, we have time for 1 or 2 questions if some people wants.
Okay, or maybe I can provide some detail about the way the PV scenario are generated.
Yeah, if you can in 2 minutes, yeah, would be fine.
This can be done. So, in fact, as I say, we use a PV point forecast to compute as inputs to the deterministic planner. And so the PV point forecasts are generated by the PV USM model. And it is in fact a parametric law that is provided by equation 7. And you just need some forecast of the irradiance and air temperature, and you can compute a PV point forecast. And so then how did we generate the scenario? We took this PV point forecast and we compute the error between the PV point forecast and the realization. And then we use the Gaussian-Copula methodology to generate error scenario. And then we add this error scenario to the PV point forecast to compute the last PV scenario. And so this is how, in fact, we generated the scenario. And here on this figure, you have in red the PV point forecast, in black the measurement, and in gray the PV scenario. And so, in fact, the scenario are error scenario between the PV point forecast and the realization. And so, as we have only 4 months of data, the Gaussian-Copula cannot capture all the seasonality. But also, there is one last thing that I did not mention. It is that the error is related to the level of production. So, for instance, if you have a sunny day, it is likely that you will have high productions from your PV plant. And most of the time, you have a small error between the realization and the prediction. But if it is a cloudy day, it is more volatile, and it's completely different. And so, in fact, we should take into account the level of productions into the way the scenario are generated. And in fact, it is not an easy task to generate a good PV scenario that takes into account both the seasonality and the level of production. So, okay, that's all. So maybe now.
Okay, thank you very much. There are 2 questions. Maybe if you can answer quickly to 1 or 2 of them.
So, okay, the first one is about the computation time. And okay, so there are 50,000 variables, but all of them are not integer variables. The 50,000 variables are all the variables of the optimization problem. And the integer variables are used to avoid discharge and discharge simultaneously. And so maybe there are only 1,000 integer variables. So this kind of problem, when you are using C-planes, it can be solved quite fast. And so for the second one, so this is talking about balancing problem, but I am not sure to really get the question. I know that there are some prospective scenarios that are trying to assess that if it's possible to implement 100% of renewable energy sources of this island, remote island. So it means that there will, in the future, there will be no more big thermal generator to ensure the balancing. And so some scenarios are computed by the French Energy Regulatory Commission to do so. So I think it's quite important that to study this system, but I am not sure that it will answer the question. But if we are considering the global climate challenges, and if on this island we would like to have only renewable energy sources to produce electricity, I think it's really important to have a reliable algorithm to be able to compute engagements and the balancing.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much for your presentation.